Hey, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are. Welcome back to my stream. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're somewhere different today, and we're not going to write any code. I've got some friends with us. Yeah, I see you over there. Why don't we go around the room and introduce ourselves? We're here at Channel 9 at Redmond. Hello out there. Yeah, Pine Dax. I hope you can hear us all right. Go ahead, why don't we introduce ourselves?
Hi, my name is Fani Reinders, all the way from Netherlands. I represent the .NET community in Utrecht, Netherlands.
Okay.
Do some user groups there and some conferences, offline conferences.
Offline conferences. All right. Go ahead, Santosh.
Hi, I'm Santosh. I'm from Orlando, Florida, and I represent the Orlando.NET user group. We are mostly in-person meeting, and I also hold the Orlando Code Camp, which is again an in-person event.
Very cool. My name's Jeff. Hi, you might know me. I run a... Never mind.
Who's Jeff?
No, all right. I'm Fritz.
First name C#, last name Fritz.
There you go. Go ahead.
Clearly. Hi guys, I'm Ellieface. You may have seen me trolling Mr. Fritz's, Mr. Fritz, channel.
Mr. Fritz is my father.
Darling. And I've been streaming on Twitch for going on 3 years.
3 years. Oh.
At least.
Hi, I'm Brent Schooley. I serve as a developer evangelist at Twilio, as you see here. I started streaming around the same time, about 3 years ago. I used to do a bunch of programming streams, but we kind of moved away from that a little bit. But I do have a bunch of people on my team that are ramping up streaming as well, so we're building a bit of an online video community there as well.
And gosh, you guys don't just play games on Twitch.
That's correct.
And program. You do... Come on, serving up a meatball here.
It's called Cooking with Heat.
We run a cooking show on Twitch. We've been doing that for even longer than I've been officially streaming on Twitch. And it all started one day with a Google Hangout in a kitchen with some friends. So yeah, that's one of the oldest cooking shows I think streamed, period.
Yeah.
Full stop. That's just
On
with
the
such
internet.
Definitely one of the longest concurrent too. So
very cool.
Pretty cool.
So I like this. We got this really good mix of folks from different communities, right? I'm a Microsoft guy. I've still even got my badge on me. Look at this. Look like a newbie here. But we've got some folks that are in-person communities, and we've got folks that have brought their community from in-person to online. And I wanted to really talk about what it means to have these different communities, how we can grow them and help our communities, right? I feel like Twitch and live video is something where we can really reach out and engage folks that are outside our geography, outside of Orlando or Netherlands, and be able to interact and get folks to learn and participate, whether it's cooking or writing code like we do, or even playing games in the fastest way through Cuphead. So Santosh, when you started with Orlando.NET, having a code camp event, what's that like to try and bring folks in? What's it like to start a new in-person community?
Yeah, so fortunately I was the Orlando.NET user group, and the code camp already existed when I joined the group. The hard part about bringing people in is every year when we get started, we have to reach out to all these people, and you have to go through. You have to do the email reach out on social media, and try to figure out who's coming, who's not, and plan an event around it. The other downside about these type of in-person events is that people will RSVP yes and sometimes not show up. So that
the abandons.
Yes, the abandons.
So here you're planning for capacity. We need these number of rooms. We need these number of seats in those rooms. We're going to have a keynote, and we want to make sure everybody can sit in there. And then you got the walkaways, the abandons. Yeah.
I hate those.
That's right. That's such a pain. And Fani, you've done a number of in-person events.
Yeah.
Do you see similar issues in capacity planning? These are the things that you run into.
Yeah, of course. So what we normally have is we have paid events and stuff. In the normal paid events, you would see a lot less of people not pitching up.
Okay.
But we want to focus more on the free events because make it all inclusive for everyone to join and come. But it makes it harder to plan because you have a full hall of max 100 people. Let's say 90 sign up and 40 pitch up.
Yes.
So much time going into organizing these things, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Sure, sure. Now, before I come over and we talk about bringing a community online like Brent and Amber have done, LA Face have done.
Thank you.
Okay. When
Get used to
Robert
it.
here it
Tables.
comes, Robert Tables is here. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
Robertables.
rating the party of 19.
Okay.
Hi, Robertables.
You had
So-
you had a few subs too.
A few subs. Oh, thank you very much,
Yeah, you
subs.
wanna-
I see
you want to
Genius
scroll up
Gaming
and
there.
see that message
Johnny
that
Nibbles.
someone very important in your community wrote?
Oh my gosh, look at this from somebody who's very important. Hey Fritz, who is that super knowledgeable lady sitting next to you. She seems so very smart.
Wow.
And what a snappy dresser
You guys are so sweet.
and employable at Microsoft. Look at that, amazing.
Very
Who could
employable.
have done that? Thank you to all of our subs. Chris Jones, thank you, appreciate that. Orchestrated perfectly. Yes, thank you, Robert Tables. Look at the emotes coming in, the heck emotes. Kevin Spicy's here, look at that with the spicy emotes. And I see the rainbow bearded clippies. A lot of folks got rainbow bearded clippy emotes this week.
In sticker form.
Yeah,
Stickers.
those are cool.
Yeah. That was kind of neat to have.
That's your
those
favorite
about.
merch now, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So we put that in the Redbubble store. You can find that down below. And folks have already bought stickers, and somebody bought a coffee mug. Yeah, look at them all go
there
by.
they go.
Nice.
And
You got
the-
a shout out from the Netherlands.
Oh, whoa.
You did.
yeah. Oh my gosh, that's great.
No one
And,
from Orlando?
No one from Orlando. Anybody from Florida,
Anyone
from the
from-
southeast U.S. out there.
Florida
McNerdius,
doesn't
hello.
watch Twitch.
Look at all the gritty. Love the gritty.
He's my favorite. He's a
Sticker
national
Mule has a
treasure.
discount. Thank you, Johan. That's a good tip. So when we do look at some of those in-person events, there's becoming a little bit of a trend for folks that say, you know what, I can't make it to an in-person event. Can you stream the keynote
Right,
from your code camp or from your event? Is that something that you guys are seeing pick up and that kind of bridge to get outside the geography?
Right. So, if
No,
I
you
may.
can go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, that is something that we are getting more and more requests for. So, whenever we hold an in-person event, especially with a famous speaker like Hanselman or Montemagno or even yourself.
No, not famous. I have keynoted.
Spoiler,
at-
spoiler alert for.
Yeah, spoiler alert. What, it was 2 years ago I keynoted. It was great fun.
Yeah. So we always get some requests saying that, hey, I cannot make this event, and there's a bunch of reasons people cannot make it. Life comes in the way, and it often feels like a bummer to turn them down. But
Yeah.
often why we have to turn them down or not stream live is because the venue may not have good internet or broadcasting
okay.
facilities. So
Sure.
so we often, especially with the Orlando.net user group and Orlando Code Camp, we get these venues for free. So
Right.
right.
So you
So
kind of rely on that internet
Right,
connection.
right.
You never know what you're going to get. Like chocolate.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, all right.
Forrest Gump, huh?
So let me pivot on that because I think you don't know what kind of network connection you have. I'm going to pivot around to Brent because Brent's been doing some really neat stuff with backpack streaming, in real life streaming.
Yep.
Right. Bringing the stream to different places. What's that like?
It's pretty cool. I think the technology that you can put like in a backpack now, the really interesting thing is like that's actually what the news is using now. The same tooling that I have to be able to broadcast on Twitch from TwitchCon or walking around Philly is literally the same unit that the local news is taking with better cameras, admittedly, but they don't take the big news trucks anymore. A lot of them don't. They take these smaller units with portable cameras, and to have that with a couple of 4 mobile hotspots in a backpack to be able to go just literally anywhere that there's cell reception, and to be able to show people what's going on the ground, what's going on up in the air. You've seen me use the drone before from hooking that up live stream.
It's commodity hardware in a backpack that anybody could buy. There's a couple companies that have put together a decent setup for you.
Yeah. Right now, the best place to go check this out is unlimitedIRL.com.
Okay.
Because they're actually selling and renting. So say you were going somewhere for 3 days, you wanted to rent, I think it's $75 a day. They'll get you a backpack kit, and everything's already hooked up for you. You just go live.
Oh, wow.
Sweet.
It's pretty cool.
That's
But
very
then they also sell the full kit as well.
So that might not be a good solution if we wanted to say live stream a keynote, but there's wireless technologies that it's possible to put together to do that type of thing.
Yeah, something that we did last year. The whole reason that I got into this in the first place is Twilio's Signal conference. We bought all this gear so that I could walk around the conference and show people that couldn't make it what the experience was there. And then there's ways to do a set. So we did a bunch of interviews where you take that same kit that's hooked up over cellular, you drop it, put a camera up on a tripod, run some mics through they have one over there, a Zoom H6, run some mics just like we're doing here, and you have yourself a professional studio anywhere.
On the fly.
Anywhere. So
nice.
you could actually look into this.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really neat.
And WQ Walter in the chat room mentioned a minute or two ago, it seems like the number of .NET code camps offered around the United States has gone down over the past few years. I still see Codestock in Tennessee, spoiler alert, I'll be speaking at Codestock, actually about Twitch streaming. KCDC in Kansas City and a few others. The percent a few years ago was several a month available. Maybe I should use other keywords other than Code Camp while searching. You're right, the number of free community events has gone down, and I think that's a place where we can start to expand our geography, right? And when we do things like, I know you guys have recorded. You've done video to record a keynote, and you've shared it on YouTube later. Making that content available shows folks outside your geography, look at the great things that are happening in our town, in Orlando. And I know for Orlando Code Camp, you guys get a lot of folks coming to town, not just because it happens to be a February-March time frame and really nice to get out of the Northeast and go visit and give a talk, but you've got some great tech in town too. So it's the same thing in the Netherlands. You guys are, gosh, you're reaching out and doing some more broadcasting and taping things. I love seeing that interaction happening and getting outside the box. Gareth is raiding us now. Oh my gosh, Gareth, thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate that. And I saw the shout outs earlier. We've got folks from Ohio here, Toronto, very cool. A 101 on streaming from Error Nick. Yes, so we were over at the MVP Summit this morning. They're running a hackathon around the corner.
Right.
And I had my travel gear set up. I run on 3 laptops when I'm on the road. We were showing folks, here's how things get put together. Now I use 3 laptops when I'm on the road. You set up a kitchen, Ellieface. How does that work? Setting up a kitchen with cameras.
Very carefully.
Yeah.
If it's every room has its own dynamics. So a kitchen, for example, there's areas within a room that you need to be able to move and catch on camera. But in the example of setting it up in a venue of some kind, there's a focal point that people need to see. But then there's also a whole room of people that may or may not have conversations happening, areas that people want to meet up, scenic spots in venues that people want to capture. And I would actually wager to say that setting up a kitchen for a cooking show is not too different than setting up a venue for a hackathon or any event like that.
But setting up a venue for a hackathon or for giving a presentation,
You don't need ventilation. I hope. I hope.
So
Depends how hot the presentation is.
I did read an interesting comment there that some venues don't have a great coverage and they have some kind of shielding. And
Oh, yeah,
have you
yeah,
guys
yeah.
come across
Older
this stuff?
older buildings,
Yeah.
especially older buildings, or you tend to be in like the lower floor of a building
Yeah, exactly.
that's old, especially especially in Florida. I've noticed
Yeah.
like a lot of the buildings are older. You're on like the ground floor, and the cell service doesn't penetrate through the.
So
through
using
walls
the
nearly as much.
wireless network
It might not.
connection-
It might not work out. What does mitigate it for me, and I think it was Sushi that mentioned this. Like it must be a pretty big bandwidth bill. The thing that mitigates it for me is that I have hotspots on 3 major carriers, and one of them's redundant. So I have 2 AT&T, 1 Verizon, and 1 T-Mobile. So it pretty much doesn't matter where I go. One of those is
Something has to work.
going to get me enough bandwidth
Anything
to
has
at
to work.
least be decent. So that's part of the challenge. Is you might have a venue that has really bad AT&T service, but
yeah,
if you have a Verizon backup or a T-Mobile backup, that might mitigate that issue.
Yeah. I see Ancient Coder in the chat room saying maybe the community has moved to more live streaming now. And I think that's a great opportunity for community to be able to, like I said, reach outside their geography, get some other folks to pay attention. When I know in the Philadelphia area for our user group, they saw a bit of an attendance drop off, but they started live streaming and they got some folks tuning in from other places, and it's a chance to show off. Hey, look at how great Philadelphia is. And it works for them, might not work for others. And I think there's something to be said for building that community and having them follow you where you go. Now, I'm going to come back over here. You guys brought your community. You started as, as a group of friends, and you brought
As
folks,
every community does, we start off as a
but
bunch
you were
of friends
a
who
closer
are interested.
in-person group of friends,
For sure,
right?
for sure.
And you brought them to Twitch. Did it take much convincing? Did you have to? No. And now we have PH16, and yes, there's lemon pie. All right.
Communities. I gotta say, to sort of summarize what we're going to talk about in the next part
Go ahead.
of probably your questioning line. Communities belong to communities, and that's the thing. So we've built up PH16, but now there are stream teams on Twitch and other communities on Twitch, and now within the C# Fritz community on Twitch. It just feels like we're all glomming together and growing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what communities are meant and built to do.
Right.
So.
Right. So one of the things that we as an online community that I'm trying to do is I want to encourage other folks to start streaming. So just as I learned from you two about streaming, our friend Robert Tables there in the chat room picked up Robertables.
Robertables. Okay.
Yes. Don't type his name into a database. Bad things happen. I thought I saw Rambling Geek went by. A couple of our friends from the Live Coder team are here. Codebase Alpha has started streaming. Carrie Payette is here. She's streaming. Gareth has started streaming. And
these are all community members that started just watching you and now are taking their personal communities and attaching them to yours. We're all becoming one uncontrollable blob.
That's fantastic.
No, and it's great, and I want to encourage that. But I'm going to turn around and go back to the real life scenario. So Santosh, right? One of the things that I saw as a in-person .NET community member was, how do you encourage folks to go from just an attendee to giving that first talk at the user group, and then whatever happens from there? How does that encouragement work?
Okay, so I often encounter that because I have people reach out to me. They want to speak at Orlando Code Camp. I think the first talk is the toughest one. Once you get over that hump, you kind of get addicted to it and you want to do more.
I don't know anything about being addicted to speaking. Nothing at all.
All right. So the first talk is the toughest one. So whenever someone reaches out to me, I try to make sure they don't chicken out at the last minute because people tend to submit talks and then they'll be like, I don't have, my computer is not working, or
They come up with excuses.
You tend to come up with excuses. Then I'll try to present alternatives, saying, if your computer is not working, someone in the community could help you out with the computer. So. And the other thing we try to do with the Orlando.NET user group is we try to reach out to people who have not spoken before. Like our code camp is particularly geared towards first-time speakers. That's what I spoke first, and of course now I'm speaking at bigger conferences and everything else. So anyway, we try to encourage first-time speakers and get them over the hump for the first talk. And a lot of them continue further down the line from there. So
and Fani, do you see similar? How do you encourage folks to get in and get involved with your community beyond just an attendee?
Yeah. So to actually connect what he's saying on first-time speakers as well, the problem was that I found that they don't want to be filmed. And so especially for the first one, we said, fine, we'll just do an offline recording to kind of push your boundaries. But if they don't want to be filmed at all, that's the onus on them. They don't want it, that's fine. But sometimes we just say, okay, we won't go live, we'll just do it afterwards. They want to focus on the group itself, which is a small group, like a user group, whatever. And then we grow it from there and go on. And that mechanism makes them feel warm and fuzzy about it. And then make them do more and more and more. I guess also, as a presenter myself, doing live coding on Twitch and doing it in front of people, it's much less stressful in Twitch than in real life people.
Sure.
Much less distracted.
So,
But everyone's watching, so why is that?
Nobody's watching. There's nobody watching here.
There's
Nobody's watching right now.
Nobody's watching right now either. Just don't look down there.
We have a
remembering.
monitor down here. We can
There's
see
no
how many
screen
people are
down there.
watching.
So one thing I
well.
always tell first-time speakers
Yeah.
is that when you give a talk, the people in the room are there because they want to learn something from you. And
Yes.
chances are, if you're speaking, you are the expert in this room, and they want to learn from you. And the other thing is, most audiences are very kind, and they want you to succeed. So often saying that to first-time speakers helps them.
You know, you're right. I see similar on Twitch. I don't know if you guys see this similar. And I know, funny, we were talking about this the other day, that folks do want to see you succeed. On Twitch, they also want to see the process, right? We can be a little bit more raw about this. And I'm going to go to Electric Havoc here in the chat room. Electric Havoc says, I was brought here to stream when .NET stand-up started on Twitch, mainly because I like the raw format of that stand-up. So we can, where in person, you've got an hour, you need to be polished. And you're right, folks want to see you succeed. I feel like it's the other way. Folks want to see how raw it is on Twitch.
Yeah.
And they want to watch the chaos.
I would say that people want to be a part of the success on Twitch. And that's
Okay.
going back to when Twitch made its first big, I guess, media debut with Twitch Plays Pokemon.
Yeah.
That wasn't just a bunch of people creating chaos for the fun of creating chaos. They all played the game together. They worked together to see success, and there wasn't even a human streamer involved in that. That was the power of community working together, just wanting to make success, see success, and have a little bit of fun on the way, let's be
Certainly.
honest.
Yeah. Robert Table says, people want to see failures and then recoveries. If you want
Exactly.
a perfectly orchestrated tutorial, go to lynda.com, plural site. If you want the real world, you only get it live on Twitch. Yeah, absolutely.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
There you go. Right.
But it's also, like you said, there's a problem, something goes wrong, how to fix the problem,
Yes.
and then someone learns about it.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, Maz, thank you so much for that tier 3 sub. Holy crow, 10 months. Thank you so much. And of course,
I think.
Get for
all
that.
of our subs, all of our cheers, we're going to make donations to Black Girls Code. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Thank you very, very much for that. Code Warrior says how raw it is for coding, seeing how things don't always work out, but how to fix what has not worked.
And I think what's interesting about that too is, especially as people that have been programming for a while, you end up with a lot of people that have not been programming for very long at all. And that could be intimidating, but seeing someone who's been doing this for a while have to go to the documentation to look up an API.
Oh my gosh,
How do you
yes.
work through the problem that might give them a massive struggle? Seeing you work through how to find the place in the documentation to solve the problem and work through it to completion is completely encouraging to someone who's just getting started.
Yeah.
Like seeing
Oh.
the thought process, having you talk through, okay, well, it looks like this API is supposed to do that, but when I make this call, I'm getting this error. What does that error mean? Let's go find it,
So
That's where learning happens.
Exactly, and on Twitch, folks are very forgiving towards that. But in person, guys, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, we run into it's cringeworthy. You're like, oh, there's a demo fail, right?
And my Windows always do updates before.
Yes,
right.
Every,
Oh my Why does that
Every
happen?
important thing that you've ever done is punctuated by a Windows update. Somewhere in the world,
Hopefully
somewhere.
we don't
You
get
check
one
the
right
log,
now.
It was like
Yeah.
Windows.
Oh, yeah. So true story. All right, I'll tell this story. I was giving a talk at an internal conference that we have here at Microsoft called Tech Ready, and this was before Windows 10. The first Windows 10 version was released, and we were supposed to, as employees, get Windows 10 deployed to us before the big public release, so that we could test it, and so that we knew that you folks out there watching would get a decent product and that everything worked properly. I was on stage teaching folks how to do ASP.NET. I was teaching folks how to build a website, and the dialogue popped up in the middle of the screen 15 minutes into my talk. We're going to reboot and install Windows 10 in the next 10 minutes. I'm like,
Oh no.
Ain't nothing you can do about it.
let me make sure I close that properly. Go.
Goodness.
But and now I want to reflect
I'm
over.
curious how you recovered.
So here's the thing.
How did that? You can't start that story and then leave the good part
So
out.
I went over and I closed it, and as I'm closing it, the folks that were in the audience are those support people that you call.
Oh,
so
wow.
they all knew exactly what was happening and laughed with me as I went, oh, let me make sure I close this properly or else this is going to end real quick.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So I want to come back to Rhyolite's question,
Yeah.
his comment here in the chat room. In my very first live coding session, a chatter found a bug in my code before I
Right?
did.
Boom.
That sold me immediately.
Wow.
This is something, when I'm in person speaking and somebody sees a bug in my code, how do you handle that, right? You only have
Yeah.
so much time.
Yep.
You don't.
You
It
don't.
just breaks, and then whenever it breaks, it takes like a few seconds. Then you say, "Oh, okay, this is the problem."
I don't remember if this was Hanselman or Sean Wildermuth.
Okay.
One of them was one of their talking tips is that you deliberately make mistakes and see if people are paying attention to.
Okay. So the first talk that I gave at TechEd was at something called Speaker Idol, right? Do you remember this Speaker Idol?
Yeah.
And I was giving a talk about a little unit test framework that I wrote, and I purposely put a failure in there. And he doesn't even remember it, but I called Hanselman for a tip, and he said, "Put a failure in there, make it break,
Yeah.
and then show how the unit test framework fixes it."
That's such a good tactic.
It is.
It really
Oh.
is. It's such a good tactic in a presentation. I see.
In-person planned presentation, scheduled.
Yeah. Or
I don't put bugs into my
Yeah,
Twitch
I
presentation.
wouldn't
They
put,
just happen.
I wouldn't put bugs in your Twitch.
Naturally.
They were going to happen anyways. But I did see. We were talking earlier about Instagram. I saw Ricky Robinette, that leads our overarching team called the Developer Network at Twilio. He was on our Instagram live stream, and he did that. He actually put in just a tiny bug to come back and illustrate. Not what could go wrong, but basically it was a way to say this is a part of the process that you could easily miss. And I easily missed it so that we could go back and talk about how that's a common pitfall.
Oh, okay.
In a 15-minute presentation, basically, you can have a talking point like that. I think it's great.
You got to be
honestly.
quick.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you got to be quick.
Well, you have to remember that you did it too.
Yes. Right. I'm looking at Perry at Digital
Yeah,
Ox and
Perry.
Fuel Stable, writing bugs unknowingly to extract and try and extracting features.
All
from them.
for
What is that?
learning. It's all for learning. On purpose, definitely, professional.
Okay, Carrie's got a reference here. Demo fail equals bunny rabbit shadow puppet time.
Oh.
There is a picture of me from an event in Vermont where I'm pointing at the screen, but the screen's all washed out, and you see my fingers like this.
Oh.
And she keeps joking that I'm making
Nice.
bunny rabbit.
That's what you were
Thanks,
doing, yeah.
thanks, Carrie.
I'm glad you explained that reference. I never would. I thought that maybe, just
I
maybe.
thought it was some kind of in-Twitch joke or something.
Oh no, that was
Okay.
completely insider joke with Carrie. She,
Okay.
Nice one.
Yeah, she was
Nice
coming after me there. Thanks so
That's
much.
good.
The Michael Jolly's here. Michael Jolly was last month. James Montemagno
Yeah, I
just
was-
stuck his
Just
head in the
popped in.
window here. Was our cheerleader last month, our leading cheerer, something like that.
Cheerleader.
And sure. We're going to do a live coding stream with Michael Jolly here coming up. We need to get together and work on that. But every month, whoever's the top cheerer at the end of the month, I see Robert Tables is leading right now. They'll get to join me and we'll do a live coding session together.
Nice.
Yeah, Naku's here. Hello.
What's up, Nakabel?
There were a panel chat.
Here
Absolutely.
come the clips. Okay.
Here come the clips. Oh yeah. So Naku is from PH16 community with Brent and Ellie, and it takes a lot of clips. Makes all the video clips all the time. Here's Quill Tony. Hello, Quill Tony. She's from the creative community on Twitch. These are folks that, right, to bring them in and talk about code, about technology, right? She quilts, and she's part of that creative group, and being able to reach out and bring in folks from different places is really neat to see here. There we go. Thank you, Michael Jolly, for that kind cheer.
Did
Absolutely,
you-
for the community.
You worked on some code with Quiltony, right?
We did. So we, it's interesting when you do things on Twitch. We actually had both of our channels running at the same time, and Tony went and she worked on some things to configure her Shopify website. Now, that would be a cool talk by itself. Hey, let's
Sure.
learn how to configure Shopify.
Yeah.
But while she was doing that, I was over on my stream, and we had Discord set up so we could talk back and forth to each other, and you could hear it on our other streams. And I was showing, here's how to get status of a Twitch stream and turn it into a widget that we put on Quiltony's website. So when you now go to quiltony.com to shop and buy quilts and fabrics and things, you can see whether she's live or not with this little badge we built at the same time. Two what would have been great talks.
So you're combining ecosystems. And,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So,
That's awesome.
and when we're in person and we want to do that crossover, if we're doing a .NET user group, we might call up the folks from JavaScript, right, the JS meetup, and say, hey, why don't you come over and
Yeah.
can we learn about Vue, right? Now, I know, Fani, you've been reaching across YouTube and Twitch.
And Periscope.
Yeah.
Is that a
So,
thing still?
oh my gosh, absolutely it is. And there's Quiltony with the quilt emotes. Thank you. Look at that. So when you're bringing folks, always be quilting, says James. I love the chat going by. This is
Always be
tremendous.
quilting.
You keep talking. We're gonna hang out over here. When you publish stuff out to YouTube, is it? How do you build a community of followers and group and folks out there?
Well, it's hard.
Okay.
Well, harder than doing it on Twitch, for instance, and also being a newbie. I look at you guys, professionals, to see how it's done. And it's starting slow, starting small, I would say. Also making the tentacles in all the platforms, because people really don't know about all these places they can go watch. I mean, originally I'm from South Africa, and I don't think they know of Twitch.
Okay.
You just hit a big talking point that I've been talking about a lot this week.
Let
Yeah.
finish them. Yeah. Let's come back to you. Hold that thought.
So that's pretty much what I try to do with the Restream. Streaming it to one point, and then it will go out.
And then go out so you can get some more coverage
Yeah,
there.
without doing much.
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. On to the next group. All right, catch you later, Quiltony. She's actually at a conference teaching folks in the creative creative communities about Twitch to try and bring those folks into our ecosystem. So, and gosh, learn about all the cool things there. Yeah, bye, Quiltony. We'll
So
see.
you had a
Yeah, so you had.
Oh yeah, just the notion of like you were talking about people not knowing about the platforms, and that I've had this discussion a lot with a lot of people this week that don't get Twitch, or they understand the appeal but they wouldn't watch it. And one of the things that comes up a lot is like, well, how many people are there on Twitch that would watch this content? And I think that's the wrong way to look at it. And we were talking last night, that's kind of like saying, how many people that currently go to meetups would go to my meetup, right?
Okay.
You have to know that meetups exist to even go to a meetup.
Yes.
And you have a very large population of software developers that currently don't know Twitch is even a thing.
Right.
And it's really you as the knowledge holder, right?
Yeah.
The streamer or the viewers, honestly, letting other people know, hey, this is a place that you can go. There's all kinds of people that are doing this right now. Find the thing that works for you. And then once they come in, the door's open to go check
Oh
out
my
all the
gosh,
other
yes.
streams. But I think we have an untold number of, I mean, it's very large. Like it's probably 6 figures number of developers that do not know that Twitch exists.
Oh, certainly.
Millions of developers
Oh, yes, yes.
that don't know about Twitch yet, and it's on us to bring them in.
But yet again, getting back to the vehicle of getting to that platforms, Facebook and Twitter and all your social media,
Yeah.
we should use that.
Absolutely.
to get there, because most people are on Instagram and Facebook, and
Absolutely.
then
There's I want to thank Carrie. My gosh, thank
Oh,
you so
yeah.
much for those kind cheers. We really appreciate that, and we'll make donations to Black Girls Code, of course.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, a lot of hey guys there.
I met her
Yeah,
at TwitchCon.
you did.
At TwitchCon.
Rhyolite says I've not been making my videos public right away, so subscribers don't get notified of them because my videos on YouTube are usually much more polished. Okay, that's definitely something to think about. There's the reach of the video platform is tremendous. And I've seen, gosh, we saw here in chat, we've already seen folks from Netherlands. We've seen folks from Toronto. Anybody from Brazil? There's usually a few folks from Brazil that are tuned in. And look at this.
Getting a live mic fix.
Yeah,
We
we're
get live mic
fixes
debugging.
Thanks to
Is
the one
better?
behind. Do you have that button? Should we just do the sound effects?
Yeah, we're going to do
Doesn't
the
have the
sound
sound
effects on
effects.
our own.
Yeah.
I know. It's not here. But
Is this better?
yeah, I think
Yeah,
it's
that'll look better.
Uh,
I think it was just hitting your shirt.
no.
Oh my gosh, Carrie, wow.
More
Do the thing, yeah.
Do the thing. All right, a
Absolutely.
lot better. We got live feedback. It's a lot better.
Live
Thanks.
feedback.
Thanks, chat. Now, is that
Thank
something that
you.
you guys could do at a real meetup? Absolutely. Hey, your mic is a little funny. Let's, okay.
Sure.
Better now? Sounds good. There's a lot of crossover. I think that's the root of what you're trying to say here. Right?
There is.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
there's definitely something to be said about bringing folks onto the platform. And our friend Shadow Fox, she does a Twitch coaching stream on Tuesdays. She's always talking about bringing folks in from wherever your community might be. So for us, it's been, let's bring that live community in from Twitter or from Facebook. And certainly syndicating out to some of those places is a great thing. But we also want to be able to take our video community and bring it in person. So I know you're doing a number of things at the Orlando.net user group that are in person, but we're going to try and do something in June
Right.
along with the Dev Intersection event. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. So in June, the speaker for our .NET user group is going to be Jeff C# Fritz.
I know
So-
that guy.
So the plan for that meetup is to stream it live.
There we go. So we're going to stream it live. We'll see what we can do to show folks,
Right.
here's all the cool stuff happening in Orlando.
Right, and so the caveat for this is that we have never done that before. So we can use all the help that we can get to make this happen. So we are putting it out there to the community. Please help us.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get that information and we get ready to publish it, we're going to look for your help to let folks know about it. And if you're going to be in Orlando that week in June, stop by. It'll be great. Let's go to James Montemagno as a comment here. James says, I focus on Twitch only for streaming because trying to build a community around 3 or 4 platforms and chatting is hard. Yeah, it is. They've each got individual chat platforms. I will say, though, that I always export to YouTube and put it live 2 days later because my followers in Africa say YouTube uses less bandwidth, so they always watch later as it is expensive if they watch me live. Okay, that's a lot of great stuff about YouTube, and I do hear that from folks that are in those places where they have lower bandwidth and being able to download and take that content. And particularly, I heard some folks they wanted some of my workshops that we did here on Twitch to be able to watch them and get them from YouTube. But I'm going to reflect over to you, Ms. Eliface, because I know you love YouTube.
Is that true?
I need a sad tuba sound effect.
This will be a fun progression.
So
Yeah.
Coming this direction.
why don't you like YouTube?
I mean, when it comes to pick your favorite streaming platform, I will always 100% choose the one with the best community. And that is by a landslide, that's going to be Twitch. There's no competition. No one in any future could ever possibly come up with.
According to the Streamlabs Q4 report, Twitch is like 1.7 million broadcasters and YouTube gaming is about 700,000. So it's head and shoulders above.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But there's a time and a place for YouTube, and I don't believe it's for forming a community. This is a personal opinion.
Absolutely, right? All of this is
Tag,
capturing
tag, tag,
personal
tag,
opinions.
tag.
None of this
Not
is
representative
not
of C# Fritz.
and this is not a message sponsored by Microsoft. Go ahead.
None. But when it comes to building a community on Twitch, you want live interaction. You want to see the potholes. You want to see the mistakes, the steps along the way. And if you just want a short tutorial on something, that's what YouTube is for. That you go
Okay.
to the comments section to see someone get upset about a video.
Oh,
But
and
when
then
you-
Godwin's Law takes effect on YouTube.
When you jump into Twitch, you
know what I'm
see
talking
a
about.
chat room full of people who want to be positive, who want to contribute, who want to build upon things that already exist.
Yes.
I'm very opinionated about it.
There's something really to be said about how, I don't want to use the term magical, but how special the Twitch community is, how inclusive, how there's no judgment. Anybody can stream. They don't. It doesn't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter what gender you are. It doesn't matter where you're from.
Right.
They're welcoming, and there's something to be said about that, whether it's an in-person community or it's the video community. And it's a shame that you get such negativity on YouTube. Like if you had somebody who's being negative in person,
Yeah, kick them
Right.
out. Yeah.
Code of
And that's
contact.
exactly the way it works on Twitch.
Yeah.
For some reason, YouTube is a mystical beast that says we allow bad. I
Right.
cannot understand.
Right.
And it's all about attitude because the tools are almost identical across platforms too. The ability to edit videos is now appearing in Twitch. That's obviously been the case on YouTube for ages. Metrics, they're exactly the same across. There's something.
I like YouTube's metrics presentation better than Twitch, but then again, I'm a little bit of a power user.
They are getting better, though. I
They
will
are,
say the
yes.
Twitch analytics stuff has gotten a lot better. The export from Twitch is actually a lot better than it used to be as well.
It is.
As someone now who is like keeping track of the numbers of other people streaming on the team,
have to, yeah.
I need those tools to work.
Yes.
And they're getting better.
Yeah.
But I would say the depth of analytics that you get out of YouTube, like it's my day job is to look at these numbers right now because I produce a lot of content for Twilio's YouTube. I'm looking at those all the time, and if we could get some of the demographic info and like the deep dive on
Right.
retention and metrics about where people are coming from and that sort of thing in Twitch, I think it would be a lot better.
Okay.
But there are definitely a ton of great things inside of YouTube analytics that we're just missing right now in Twitch. It's simplistic for a reason on Twitch. I think they want you to focus on the things that are most important to your growth at a different stage, but they've changed it so that you can look at deeper stuff, and the export includes everything.
So what would
hang
you
on,
say?
hang on. I'm going to reflect back to Pine Dax there in the chat room, who agrees with the smart lady. There you go.
There-
Hired. Boom. Right there.
Incredibly employable.
There you go.
Incredibly. I wanted to ask, what experience do you guys have with trying to gather your community's attention in places in social media, for like in-person meetups, for streaming on YouTube?
Can I answer that? Food. Free food.
Okay, next.
Drop the mic.
Oh, okay. So here's the deal. When you cheer more than 50,000 bits, there'll be an Uber Eats that'll arrive. No, that's not a thing. No, but that'd be fun.
But seriously, like how do you get people's attention? And I know this was at the beginning of this talk. We talked about how it's different across all these platforms. But would you, from what you've done so far, would you say that it's more similar? An in-person meetup is more similar to the way that a Twitch meetup works, a Twitch live on stream meetup works, than having very exclusive content on YouTube, for example.
You mean like offline? Like presentation offline? Or
Presentation online, offline.
In person.
In person, yeah. Well, for me it was more, it's more hard work to set up something, because you have the logistics around organizing the venue, and
Right.
it's like really, I mentioned earlier, it's like really a lot of work to do these things, and then people don't pitch up and whatnot. And I suppose it's counting on those key community members that will also, at companies or at other groups to share the links of the user group. So we're very dependent on those kind of things, and also, like I said, food, but
On making it easy for the community to speak
Yeah,
with the
exactly.
community.
Yeah.
It's almost as though Discord has the market cornered.
Exactly.
Discord's a tremendous asset. Now, we've used Discord. Have you guys used Discord yet?
No.
So Discord is like...
So Discord is-
Let them
Discord's
go.
like Slack for gamers.
Okay.
It's a lot easier to access. There's a lot more capabilities, and better, I think, for live calling, live video, back and forth between folks. You can set up a kind of a party chat where everybody can jump in voice and talk to each other. I know, gosh, I've been messaging both of you all week about, hey, we got to make sure we get things set up for the Thursday stream, and it's tremendously useful, similar to Slack. There's a real tight comparison there, And I do prefer it over Slack
There's
right
less
now.
less corporate feel.
Yeah,
to it.
so what's
It really is.
why would someone use Discord over Slack? I guess that was going to be my question.
There's integrations with some of the fun things that you want to do. It'll show you the apps that people are using. It'll pop up and tell folks, Jeff's currently in Visual Studio right
Oh,
now,
nice,
if you
okay.
try and get my attention. There's integrations with the streaming platforms so that you can get that audio coming through on Discord into your presentation. So you're coordinating, you're playing a game with friends, and you're able to hear all the speakers live right there in the game on your stream.
Oh, nice.
So it works out nicely. Let me go over to Zach K. Siva Muthu. Says, I got this comment in YouTube on an exported Twitch video. Cut the stuff from your tutorial. I was like, that's the video how I came out of struggling in my code. If you want, come by Twitch and see it live. I've absolutely seen this where folks are watching YouTube and they're watching an export from Twitch.
Yeah. Do you edit your exports, or do you export directly?
I export directly. I don't
Okay.
currently edit, but I've gotten folks complaining about the Steve Ballmer alert. So when folks click that follow button, Steve Ballmer pops up and yells, developers, developers, developers.
Sure.
Can we see example? Someone?
I don't have it turned on
Yeah,
here.
no,
One job.
Yeah.
One job.
He's
Thanks.
good. We can keep him.
Thanks. So yeah, go ahead, Naku. Go ahead. You can clip that one. Yeah.
So have you ever considered turning off comments on the YouTube videos so people?
That's a great question. I have thought about it, but you know what? I want to hear what people have to say. I've got a little bit thick skin. I'm okay with hearing folks say, you know what, this was terrible. And there was a video that I produced that had the guest that dialed in didn't have a great connection and the audio was bad. It's bad, but the content that he produced and showed was really good. So while the audio was awful, it was good content. Now, I do have people complaining on that video, this is the worst video I've ever seen. Okay, you don't have to keep watching it. But there are folks who have said, this was amazing, the stuff that he showed. I couldn't hear him, but I was able to figure it out and follow along. So that's really cool. But let me go to level 002 out there who says, in my honest opinion, Twitch programming coding area category is a little hidden. Imagine it exposed on the front page.
Yeah.
It would have more people. So I've actually been talking to folks at Twitch and saying, can we get some of our science and technology people on the front page?
Yeah.
How can we make it so when you come to Twitch TV, maybe you don't see this face, but you see some of our good friends. Maybe it's Code Warrior, maybe it's Robert Tables, maybe it's Rambling Geek, maybe it's NoOpCat on the front page and talking about, hey, here's really cool stuff that you can learn and grow from. Ninja Bunny 9000 stopped by. Ninja Bunny's here!
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to see you. Ninja Bunny's a member of our Live Coders team, and she writes Python and is a DJ in the evenings.
What?
Very, very cool. Hey there, Ninja Bunny. Thanks so much for stopping by. Yeah. So drop a follow over to Ninja Bunny and check out the fun that's happening over there.
Gonna miss chat
So,
for a second.
I have a pledge for you, Fritz, and I'll say
Go
it.
for it.
I'll say it live so that you can hold me to it.
Go ahead.
I'll be on the Live Coders team in April.
Do it. Let's make it happen. Get
Naku.
live coding.
Getting back into this.
Naku, clip
Yeah.
that.
Naku's
Clip
gonna
that,
clip.
Naku.
Naku's
Yep,
gonna clip
right
it,
there.
but hold me to it. Chef Brent in the chat.
We
Hold
will
me.
make that happen.
Hold me to it. I will get back to live
What is
coding
it
on
called?
Twitch.
Sorry, I'm a bit.
Oh, you know what? That's a good point.
a good
for,
point. Yeah.
for some folks who might be new to Twitch, a clip, and there's the second clip. A clip is just like how, right, we're watching a full video here, we're producing a full video. A clip is when somebody who's a viewer isolates up to, it's like a minute, is that the maximum length?
60 seconds.
Yeah, you can take a minute of it and put it, identify, clip that off, put a title that goes with it, and it becomes very shareable on Facebook and Twitter and those places. So then you can have that meme-like thing, like that right there.
It's no coincidence that 60 seconds, the clip length, is exactly the same as the Instagram video length.
So we can share that out, and you've got, there you go, there's
now they're all
one
sharing
from
it.
Rambling.
Yeah.
I love Coder.
Great.
So
Great. Glad I did that to myself.
there you go.
Cheers, chat. We'll see you
6
soon.
clips coming out now?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, right, and because these are so shareable, they also become a little bit like a commercial. right? So if there was a way to have a video commercial of a in-person user group, that'd be pretty powerful stuff, right? And it's not edited together with special effects or anything. It's literally, here's the 60 seconds and let's share that out.
It takes that attention span that people have when they're scrolling through their social medias and says, hey, remember this? Now have a laugh.
Yeah.
So when you get these clips, do you have to do them live, or can you go back and get it later?
You can go back.
Okay.
You can totally go back. You can scroll through a video, find the exact point, take your 30 seconds, download it, throw it up on something else.
You're going to make me, I want to go find, there's a wonderful clip that I created from somebody else's channel, but that happened when I announced my partner
on.
status. Yeah, that's right.
Naku could go find it, I'm sure.
Ninja Bunny, one thing that you can do, I don't know, if you have a Stream Deck, you can make this super easy for yourself. If you don't have a Stream Deck, you can still do it with hotkeys. What you want to do is have a button that you can push very easily during a stream. If there is something you want to go back and highlight, just drop a marker. The marker is such an underused feature inside of Twitch. This will actually show up when you go look at the highlight editor in the video producer tools inside of Twitch. All of the markers that you've dropped, or pro tip, make somebody an editor in your channel that can drop markers for you from the dashboard. Have somebody watch that you trust to drop things like that, and later when you come back and look at your video, now you have all of this stuff there.
When these things are. We got to thank Wookie. Hey Wookie, thank you so much for a raid. 6 folks coming over from the Wookie raid. Very, very cool.
I told you Naku would find it.
Of course Naku would find it. It's at the top. Welcome, Raiders. My name is Jeff Fritz. We're having a little community chat here. We've got a couple folks from different tech communities and from the Twitch community talking about what it's like to grow our communities and what's it like to grow an audience. Wow, Rhyolite, thank you very much for that kind cheer.
Wow.
That is so cool. Highlights are super useful, says Ninja Bunny 9000.
It's true.
Now, true story. Ninja Bunnies 0 through 8,999. They didn't make the cut. The 9,000.
Not nearly as good.
Is amazing. Check it out. So it worked with Cake.js. See this clip from Brandon Satchrum. The streamer's feeling when our code works. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Speaking of, if you've got a bunch of clips and you want to share, chat's going to go by and it's going to disappear into the ether forever. If you have clips and you want to share with your community, you've got a Discord, don't you?
Oh my gosh, there is a Discord.
Clips in the Discord?
If you go just below, right, there's a link to the Discord server. Everybody's welcome to click through and join there. Go onto the general channel and drop all those clips in there. I need a clip-specific channel. I'm not a pro.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
Because you've got an amazing organization on the PH16
Clips, though.
Discord server. Yeah.
The channel's
Clips.
called Clips, though.
It is called Clips.
It is called Clips, though.
Ninja Bunny 9000 has 899 regrets. Quill Tony's back. Hello, Quill
Hey,
Tony.
welcome back.
And all of Quill Tony's friends that are watching with her. Good to see you again.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the fun. We're here.
I've got one question.
Yes.
Talking about clips and videos on YouTube
Yes.
versus Twitch. How long can you store your videos on Twitch?
So Twitch has a policy that if you are a community or affiliate, they will stay for 14 days. If you're a partner, they'll stick around for 60 days. Or if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you link that to your Twitch account. They call that Twitch Prime. You get several different benefits. Among those is the ability to subscribe to one channel and remove all the commercials from it, like this channel. And as a subscriber, you get all the emotes, the fun things that they have there. But as a broadcaster, it'll open up that holding time to 60 days. Thank you for the join.
Yeah.
The join links there.
Just
So I suppose
don't forget to export your videos.
Yeah.
I did that.
Download them. You can download them to your hard drive. I recommend, like, even if you just keep a private YouTube, export it off to YouTube, because they'll hold it forever. Or download your videos. Otherwise, you might go to, say, TwitchCon with your backpack and stream 40 plus hours worth of content and forget to download it, and it's like some of the best. The only thing I have left from that, are the clips and some of the highlights.
Can we get some heartbreaks in chat? If someone has
I just export as private, download to your machine,
some Bible thumps.
do whatever.
Can you do that automatically?
Do not lose.
Twitch?
Do not lose your.
Yes, you can do that automatically from Twitch when you're on your broadcaster's dashboard. You folks can't see this, but on our other screen that we have here, in the dashboard you have a video producer link over here. When you're looking at your videos, there's a button in there that says export. So you can export it directly to YouTube, and there's also a download button. You can hit that, and it'll give you an MP4.
So what will happen if I do restream to Twitch that exports to YouTube, and it's sort of like a endless loop kind of thing?
Dude, you've got like stream inception over there.
I'm going to try that.
But so clips are a really neat thing to do in online, and I feel like if we start talking about how do we do that in the real world, you've got folks that are in that are in the audience, right? Do you reach out and you grab photos from folks and assemble them, or do you grab folks that do video to try and create a little bit more of a? There's an alert that popped up here. That's not for us.
No.
Do you try and gather some of that media together to promote?
Yeah, so we what we do is usually, let me give the example of Orlando Code Camp. So Orlando Code Camp, we use this hashtag on Twitter. So basically anything you're doing, tag it with hashtag Twitter or hashtag Orlando CC, and we will either capture it later because we'll go back and look at it sequentially. We even have things like the person who did the most tweets gets like an Amazon gift card at the end of Code Camp.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so a couple of years back when we did this, it was a grand success, and we were actually trending for a while.
Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, okay. That's something.
Congratulations.
So we basically, thank you.
That's awesome.
So we tend to use, basically go the cheap route and use the hashtag on Twitter as the media capture central. So
Oh, very cool.
so people do videos and photos and everything else on it.
Okay, yeah, and you're welcome to tweet about this event. We're here talking right now.
In much the same way that you guys offer prizes for interaction, that translates to Twitch as well. I know streamers who give away huge prizes, entire gaming consoles worth hundreds of dollars, for the people who make the best clips. And that's a lot of competition. Where competition exists, more people want to see it. That just builds and builds and builds and spreads and spreads.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I guess also that the Twitch is more interactive than the offline.
Look at the emotes flying
I
by.
mean-
Here. Yes.
Yeah.
scroll down, we've got a...
Oh my gosh. Sushinator asked, did I get my lost footage back? Yes, I did. Our friend Smab UK, his real name is Simon, downloaded and saved that video, and yes, we have it back. Brandon's here with raiding. Oh my gosh, Brandon, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. It's so great to see you. Welcome. Oh my gosh, and here's his raccoon with the blue hair. Oh man. Welcome. Brent Bot, been
Yeah.
streaming for 59 minutes. Hello.
Yeah,
hello.
the Rambling was asking, we had done an uptime command, and you don't have a.
My bot's not running right now because I'm not on my machine.
Gee, it's almost like there's an online solution for that.
Can we talk after this? Please,
No,
please,
no, we're
please?
not. No, we're not.
He doesn't want to use the stream.
I don't want to use that bot. I'm
It's
not going
okay.
to use that bot. There are online services that can help with all kinds of things producing stuff here on Twitch. And
At me.
no, I'm not adding.
I'll fix it.
No, no fixing. There is no fixing. Ancient Coder says YouTube plays a vital role as people can find previous streams. Yes, absolutely. There's I've got more than 200 video clips out there, videos from this stream that anybody can find. And if you go back to episode 1, you can laugh at me. And you can also see where I was 20 pounds heavier. Not saying, but I'm just saying, lost some weight. This guy.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Good job.
Can we get some GGs in chat?
Oh man,
What
wouldn't that
is
be
a GG?
nice?
Good game.
Good game.
Good
Good
game.
game.
Nightshade dude with the cool clippy emotes there. Yeah, check. Oh my gosh. Look at all the emotes coming by.
I'm saying.
The bot needs to move to the cloud. I was actually, so real talk, I was going to deploy the bot to the cloud before we came over here, but I ran out of time because I had to go drive and pick somebody up from the next town over.
Oh, it was.
And it's suddenly our fault.
It's now our fault. Just figured it out. Just figured it out.
Put my bot into a thing called Azure. There's this cloud thing out there. Yeah, thanks so much, Rainbow Machine. I see what you're doing there.
Got him.
So
Yeah.
and here come the rainbow bearded clippies. Yeah, we have new emotes coming next week. They're going to be amazing. Hey, Malfunct, good to see you.
I think what we heard is that the bot is going to be in the cloud.
The bot
once
is
he
going
doesn't
to
have
the
people
cloud.
to pick up.
That's right. Once I don't have people to pick up,
Ooh,
or
good
like
time.
I'm at work,
Yeah.
you know. There was a question earlier from Robert Tables about ownership of content. And this is something I think it happens both online and offline. When you give a presentation at a user group, who owns that content? If it's something about my company and my product, I want to own that content so that I can give it again somewhere else. But in a user group, it's kind of, is it kind of shared content? It's kind of, there's no ownership imposed on that?
Yeah, that's an excellent question. Honestly, that is something that we have not had to address, but
nobody's challenged it.
Yeah, nobody's challenged
Fantastic.
it, but now that you mentioned it,
Now I'm worried.
Now that you mentioned it, I actually have to go and figure this problem out.
yeah. Here's the thing. You don't want to get struck by a lawsuit saying that,
Exactly.
hey, this belongs to my company. And
Yeah.
so what we do is at the end of every talk, we encourage the speakers to share their content on our meetup page and on our, so we can tweet it out and stuff. So everyone gets it who was not at the talk. So that way we try to encourage sharing the content, but we have not had to address it from a legal perspective.
Terrific.
We have disclaimers that we sort of try to voice and say, as a presenter, you give your content to the community because ultimately it's the community's property.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's what we try to do.
Sure. And giving folks slide deck sample code when we're in a tech presentation, it's valuable. You can learn from that, but it does lose some value in that when you don't hear me or whoever the speaker is giving it. There is a value add there that doesn't happen.
Right.
But then when we pivot and we turn around and see, see this transition? Oh, king of transitions. When we go to online,
Yep.
and we have to think about, well, who owns this video?
Yeah.
Is it Twitch? Is it me? Is it Microsoft because it's filmed here? Is it Microsoft because they're my employer? Is it you folks because you appeared as part of it? It's kind of community ownership, right? But have you run into any of this ownership challenge?
Yeah, I have. The end answer for Twitch is Twitch owns it, actually. But I mean, that's a different point entirely because that's not what we're really talking about here. The fact that you're doing this on Twitch, they actually own it. But the things that you can run into as a professional, I speedrun Cuphead. I occasionally go walk around the city and do random stuff on my channel. I now have pledged to all of you that twitch.tv/Chef Brent coming soon will be programming streams. Yes, that was a little drop there.
Yeah, that was a little drop. See,
Yes, little name drop if you guys want to go give me a follow.
Follow, absolutely.
Yeah, twitch.tv/Chef Brent. Yeah, the programming stuff's going to start happening there again, and more often than not, I'm probably going to do that during day job hours because that's where it makes sense for me to
And if
do
it's
that.
during your day job,
And it's during my day job now.
That time.
And now I kind of come back to this thing where Twilio for a bit thought maybe, Twilio thought that maybe we should be streaming from twitch.tv/Twilio all the time. And my supposition was, hey, yeah, we could have our whole team go stream on Twilio and we could rotate around and have 8 different people be Twilio. But that's not what people are coming to this community for. They're coming here for Chef Brent. They're coming here for CLW, which is Corey Weathers. They're coming here for CS Kanopka, which is Chris on my team that does IoT stuff. They do want to come here for Visual Studio or Twilio, but they're expecting a different type of content when they come for that. They're expecting panels of random people or shows or things like that. And we want to do that kind of content.
Ninja Bunny wraps that up nicely. More intimate,
Yes.
unbranded experiences. How many folks can I get from the chat room? Drop a 1 in the chat room if you're watching on a phone right now.
Oh, that's
Well-
good.
Right? Not you.
Well, I feel like I have to now.
Well, we're here.
Right?
Come on, guys, get them out. Get
I'm
them out.
watching-
Yeah, come on, let's see those.
I'm watching in OBS.
You're watching an OBS on a 70-inch widescreen here in front of us. Yeah. Right. These are folks that are holding their phone and they're up near their face, and there's something to be said about that intimate experience of hearing somebody and being right next to them like that. And I say to folks, when you're producing a podcast, What?
Electric Havoc got a good one. It's a 2 if you're meta watching yourself stream on your phone, which is what's going on here.
Well played, Electric Havoc.
Yeah, I do
played.
think we have come around to that conclusion that streaming as individuals. I have created a template that makes it very clear that if we are streaming under the Twilio umbrella for that personal block, it's got a Twilio logo because it feels to me it's just subtle. It's subtle branding. It uses Twilio colors. It has a Twilio logo in the upper left, but right after that is the title of the stream, so that people always know what's going on. But it's branded, but it's very soft branding. It's still very much Corey's stream when he's streaming. But you also know that Corey is a Twilio employee when he's doing that content during the
He
day.
never takes off the jacket.
That's an association
Corey, if you're out there, you gotta watch that thing, man. Please.
Yeah.
So I think the brand association's cool. I'm not going to sit there and unless I'm actually actively programming a Twilio app, I'm not going to sit there and constantly drop, go sign up for an account all the
Right.
time. I'm
But
still
you
very
should
much.
go sign up for an account.
I'm still very much going to show you how the thing works,
Sure.
but it's not going to be a commercialized experience. I'm not going to pitch Twilio the entire time and make it feel like I'm twisting your arm to go get a Twilio account.
Sure.
Actually, I just want to show you how something works and maybe give you a tool that you didn't know about. And I think that's much more authentic. That's why Evangelists exist in the first place.
It would be quite
It's
cool
much more
if-
personal.
If your stream can be sponsored.
So
Well, we've been talking
that's
about
what
that.
Ninja Bunny's trying to say here. Brand endorsements are very prevalent in a lot of gaming streams, especially if you get a sponsorship. They want the sponsorship wants you, the streamer, to say this thing is awesome. It helps enable the stream.
Yeah.
You should buy it.
Fritz takes sponsorships.
I've taken a sponsorship or two, yes, and we've talked about and presented those folks and demonstrated, hey, we're going to talk about so-and-so product, and they've graciously offered to support the stream today. We talk about the product for a few minutes, and we move on to the next topic. And you're right, the softer branding works so much better than commercial. And there is a fine line, and you won't see me on a stream actively saying, go get Azure,
He's not
go
going
download
to run
Visual
a
Studio.
commercial for
No.
these things, but
But I'm going to show you, here, look, I'm using this tool. If you like it, here's where you can go to find it. If this makes sense to you, go check that out. And then we've got these associations that we have, not just with sponsors, but and sponsors are an important thing for in person, but with other groups and with other folks. And you see the Live Coders team down below us here. You can click through and see all the other great folks that are Live Coders, like Ninja Bunny 9000. InstaFluff is in that list. You love the InstaFluff, go check out InstaFluff. Trust me, it's fuzzy. And hopefully coming soon, Chef Brent. But there's other folks out there like the Knowledge Foundation, right? John Jerloon is saying TKF shout out. Yeah, the Knowledge Foundation is a loosely knit group of streamers that are educators and want to encourage other folks to learn and make it easy for you out there to get free information to improve your career, to improve your way of living.
Every time there's a conversation about community, every time someone asks us or me about community, the first
You go to InstaFluff?
the first human being that I think of is Jandra. She was my very first regular viewer.
Knowledge Fellowship. I'm sorry. I got it wrong.
Knowledge Fellowship. She was my first regular viewer years and years and years ago. First friend I made on Twitch. First person I ever knew through a chat box on this platform. And she's absolutely pivotal. It really can come down to that, like you guys were saying, those one or two people in the community that really pull their weight, and she's one of them.
She's one of
She's
them.
not a streamer herself yet, but we're working on it.
Yeah,
We're
and
getting
Naku,
there. We're getting
firing off the clips. We're up to 10 clips already. Oh my gosh. So,
Communities make the community.
but
Yeah,
so
exactly.
when we go from the communities, right, these loose knit groups here that are online, what kinds of associations do you, as a user group, do you want to reach out and kind of network with and bring in person? Is it, all right, we're the .NET folks, let's go grab the JavaScript folks, let's go find the cloud or the database group. Do you see that valuable?
So I approach this from two different perspectives. One is I look at it as the founder of or the organizer of a .NET user group. And of course I want to have people who are more in the realm of programming in the .NET framework or C# and other things, related things like SQL Server and other Azure.
Sure,
So,
complementary technologies.
complementary technology,
Okay.
exactly. But when I do a code camp, we actually did this a few years back. We dropped the .NET from our code camp. So yeah, and we did this before Microsoft did it. So,
Okay.
so
First.
so, yeah, first. So that
Sound effects.
I think
I
that
could just do them.
Sure, go ahead.
All right.
No.
I think after that, the attendance in our code camp has doubled probably because
Really?
yeah,
Okay.
we are getting people from different tech groups coming to our code camp. And initially there was a struggle saying that, hey, these guys are .NET people. What is a Python person going to be there? But then
Yeah.
we try to encourage them saying, hey, you are a Python, you're a Python speaker, a Python programmer. And if you don't see something, please apply for a spot to speak. And so we had people from other communities come and join, and now we have like entire tracks that have nothing to do with the .NET ecosystem. So.
Oh, that's very cool. So by pulling back just that little subtle bit, now you've opened the tent further to make it a little bit more inclusive, bring in those other technologies.
Exactly. And I have discovered that that's not quite enough because we still have code in Code Camp in our.
Okay.
So we are. What I discovered on this recent trip was we are not getting people who do things like Office apps and other things because they think it's all about coding. So that's my next challenge in this.
Okay. Or how do you get folks who do testing?
Right, exactly.
The quality assurance folks to come in.
Usually we don't have trouble attracting those kind of
good.
folks because often when they're doing quality assurance, it's related to code. So if they see, one or two talks about unit testing or something, they know that this is
That it's a welcome environment for them.
It's a welcoming environment. So, and actually, it's funny that this should happen this year, but we have an entire track on community this year. So
Really?
yeah. So
Okay.
I'm glad to say it on this particular.
How convenient.
Do you have a Twitch talk in that direction? And funny.
Florida, eh?
How are you reaching out? Are you doing things like this to expand your reach with your show, with some of your in-person events?
No, on the flip side, not. We're trying to focus on .NET specifically.
Okay.
And .NET is an ecosystem on its own, right? So it's
Sure.
also it's interesting because you can do anything on .NET really. And we try to not make it too big because yet again in-person events is a bit of a sensitive thing these days. Having the Twitch thing going on. But if you focus, you have special events for special technologies. It makes it more worth it in some cases.
Yeah. Now, special technologies. I gotta call out Fierce Kittens here. Thanks so much for stopping by, Fierce Kittens.
Are you gonna go?
That's the one.
You gonna go grab it? There it is. There it
The Windows Me box is going to trigger you. Oh yeah, we've got the downstage monitor running. It's
Yeah,
not Bob.
yeah.
In fact, there is a box of Microsoft Bob just down the street that we can bring next time.
is. Next time.
Oh yeah, you can't not stare at it.
What version of VB is
There's all kinds of, gosh, we brought
That's
all kinds
still
of little.
sealed.
It's still sealed.
The sealed Visual Basic. Look at that.
Sealed in
It's
box.
sealed.
This is a museum, and
Professional
he's
edition.
just grabbing it all. Goodness gracious.
Absolutely. Here, I'm going to grab front page. We're going to open up front page for a second. No,
That one's empty.
it is open. No, it's still in here.
Is it?
Front page is in the
Jeez.
box. Look, there's even a CD in here.
That
wanna see it.
Center
visual.
Stone, there's a CD
I
in
wanna
here.
see.
Absolutely, yep.
Unboxing.
There's a CD in
It's
here. We
all
can do an
old
school.
unboxing stream from
That
technology.
Visual Basic
from
box is
1997.
gigantic.
Wow, it is. It's a
Okay.
It's a big boy.
Do I need to bring this down?
That
You
is
do.
a big box.
We've had chat observe our surroundings
Look at
now.
this.
That is.
Whoa,
Have some Visual Basic.
How many discs are in this? Oh my god.
It's heavy.
What?
that's Azure right there.
Oh man.
Thank you for choosing Microsoft.
Wow.
There's 90 floppies in there. That's right, Michael Jolly.
It's a
Half that box is the manual. I think you're right,
books.
Ninja Bunny.
This is books.
That's books?
Yeah, there's a book about this big in there.
Yeah. And the rest is CD-ROMs.
CD-ROMs.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's right.
It's a book.
Oh my gosh.
So
You
who's
gotta-
going to clip that one first? That's the
I don't think it's old school till you have floppies in it, you know.
It's not old.
Don't think it's old school.
No, I think that's Microsoft PowerPoint over here, designed for the Macintosh. Right? You can see that
Can't
one.
quite see that one, yeah.
There you go.
It's empty.
Oh,
Is
it's
it?
empty?
It's empty, yeah.
Heartbreak.
Oh, all right. I got to read that one first, kittens. Let me see. In a world before Stack Overflow.
One man.
Oh my gosh, Michael Jolly!
Jolly.
Oh wow.
Oh my
my
gosh,
goodness.
10 tier 1s. Michael Jolly, thank you so much. Holy crow. That's Oregon T, Wings Poet, CA2 Live, Twixus, Average Brit, Xavra, Walsh 9, is that House B Such,
So many.
Trife Life, and Busterfer. Congratulations. Thank you, Michael Jolly. You folks are going to all have a tier 1 sub.
You know what to
Absolutely.
do, guys. You know. Drop the gritties. Come on.
Drop the
Drop the
gritties.
gritties.
Some gritties in
Can we
chat.
get some gritties?
Can we get some more gritties, please?
Rhyolite says, I know this is MS territory, but it reminds me of the old Solaris boxes.
Oh, Solaris box.
Rhyolite and everybody else in chat. Yes, we're on Microsoft campus. Yes, I work for Microsoft. No judgment on anybody, any technology. Everybody's welcome. I mean, Ninja Bunny's here with Python. We've got other folks with JavaScript. Robertables with containers and yeah, JavaScript. Look at all the Ellie face kicking off the gritties. Look at all the gritties.
So many gritties.
Oh my gosh.
MongoDB.
Fortran represent. Okay,
Fortran. Well, we got to draw the line somewhere.
come on,
Right.
Rhyolite.
You found it.
It's all about the open office. Well, there's Office 97, and that is open. Virtual PC for Mac, Visual Studio 6. So, and we've even got the original, whatever.
It's a veritable museum.
It's a
up in here.
veritable museum behind us. It's so interesting. Is there a Visual Studio 5? No. I don't have Visual Studio 5, just Visual Studio 6.
Six.
I do have Visual
Six.
Studio
Six.
6 right here.
Yeah, there you go. There's the disc.
6.0.
Studio 6.
See the difference.
Yep.
None.
If you did a
This is
Fortran
just Visual
77
Basic.
Yeah,
This
just
isn't-
Visual
This
Basic.
isn't even Visual Studio. This is just VB.
That's right.
VB
You want
Pro.
InterDev. That's right. Old dev guy. And who else said that?
Visual
Carrie.
InterDev.
Yeah. So, which campus? Out of curiosity, didn't realize Microsoft had a neato room like this. We're on Redmond. We're in Redmond on main campus.
Channel 9 Studios.
So, Channel 9 Studio.
No green
Well.
screen.
No green screen this time.
This is all green screen. What are you talking about?
This is all fake behind us.
These boxes.
None of this furniture.
There's kittens.
These are these are holograms.
Yeah.
This is a HoloLens.
This is
thing.
that's a HoloLens.
hooked up to the
right
HoloLens
there.
camera.
It's hiding
And
behind
you
the
guys are
VBs, but there's a
seeing-
HoloLens right here.
The
Figured it
case
out.
for it is down there too. That's
Oh my gosh! And she's still triggered over there.
Still triggered.
I can't help you with that. I'm sorry. There's nothing. Malfunct. I'm in Redmond now, or should I be well, I'm visiting for the week. We've got an event happening in town that we're presenting as part of. These are just blank cardboard boxes. No, they're the real deal.
They're
Some of
green.
them are.
See Me CNC,
Yep.
the 3D printer.
So Visual Basic Box is bringing up all the feels, though. That was your first Windows language. Yeah,
Yeah?
VB6 was mine too.
VB6 was an interesting language here.
Genius Gaming.
Gateway language.
No Master Chief Edition discussion here. Sorry.
That's
Not
another
happening.
building
Quick, yeah, that's
entirely.
and they've got the big Master Chief statue in that building.
But we all know when we signed in as guests, they told us, and we had to sign an NDA. So we
Yeah.
know everything.
They know when the next Windows comes out. They know when the
Know
next
everything.
Xbox is
We've
coming
been
out.
assimilated.
Yeah.
It's not true. They didn't tell us.
What did I hide?
These guys are like, we
These guys are like, we didn't
learn
get
what?"
that.
The
Yeah.
front page box?
I signed in with you guys.
Oh, you
so-
signed it. Yeah. Sorry, it was just you.
Front page
Don't
box
tell
is
them.
right here. There it is. Front page.
We'll get it
I'm
out
gonna
of
have to
here.
redecorate in here when we get done. We've made such a mess now. This is ridiculous. Need to take these folks to the archive building. Tim Yours here. Hey, Tim.
Ooh, Tim.
Maybe we can do that. Maybe.
Tim,
Yeah, let's go.
Tim
it's
mentioned something earlier that we missed in chat. It was a long time ago, so you don't have to scroll up.
Well,
he
or I could
mentioned
just click his name and look at his chat.
he mentioned Sling Studio,
Sling Studio.
which is a cool device for the conferences and meetup group type stuff. It's basically a package in a box that has some wireless transmitters for cameras.
Okay.
And it links back wirelessly to a box that can stream to Twitch. So it's another one of those like in a box solution kind of things, and they're rentable too, which is really nice for like someone that's only going to do, you know, if you're only going to do a code camp once a year, or like you only maybe want to stream the time that you have someone coming to one tug that's huge, like maybe of Hanselman coming down there or something, and you want to stream that one
Or Jeff
because
Fritz.
you got Fritz coming down. It's like a momentous event. You could do that. You could rent from like lensrental.com or borrow lenses. I forget which one has it, but you can actually rent the Sling Studio and a couple cameras for. I mean, we're probably talking less than.
Man, I should get all these links from you. Is there any way you
Yeah,
can compile the links?
can-
If there were a Discord that you guys could join.
Yeah, if you join
Join the Discord.
Fritz's Discord.
Join the
I could
Discord.
drop all these links, but yeah, basically you could rent a Sling Studio, you could rent a couple cameras and lenses and some lighting for really cheap. Like you could have someone sponsor that, right?
easily, yeah.
For a very low, like probably $500 sponsorship, you'd have a mobile studio for
Is that
for
like
the weekend.
Do NDI at all?
That one does not, but there also are solutions for NDI from NewTek. There's I think it's called Connect Spark and Connect Spark Pro that will latch onto a Micro Four Thirds or a DSLR camera. NDI should define that. That's
Yes,
that's
please,
a
acronym.
NDI is a video protocol that works over Ethernet or Wi-Fi. That provides instant transmission over your local network that you can use anywhere on your local network. OBS specifically is where we tend to use it most, but
The problem with the Spark is, or the NewTek Spark is you need like power
yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Sling Studio is a proprietary. Everything there is a proprietary solution. But you can go like HDMI out from the Sling Studio into OBS if you wanted to stream from OBS with your overlays and everything.
Oh yeah.
It's just another neat. It's another neat solution.
And let me tell you where you can go for overlays. Do I need to tell you where you can go for overlays? At me afterwards, and I'll tell you where you can go for overlays.
DreamElements.com.
Okay.
I almost wore that T-shirt today.
You could have,
so close.
but you got the PH16
I got PH16
happening
today.
right? So PH16, they're a friendly team of Philadelphia area-based streamers.
Yeah.
And Robert Tables.
And Robertables, yes. We're a rowdy bunch. We are. Do you want to pull it back to community and talk?
Go
about,
ahead.
Talk about some of the features of our individual communities.
We can do that. Go ahead, ask the
Shall we?
question.
I don't have a question to ask.
You don't have a question. You lead me down that path without a question.
I want to hear people talk about some of the features of their communities.
So my community, you're in it. I don't need to talk about it.
Here.
Funny. What's unique and great about your community, in person and online, that you've started?
Well, it's creativity. People start to, in my specific .NET community, it's very specific to do like .NET stuff, but you tend to get the sessions in that's not really .NET technology, but it does to do with .NET, so you can have a Java extension, but it's built with .NET kind of thing. So there's a .NET-y kind of aspect to it, and you see these creativity coming in, and that's what I like.
Cool. They want you to fix your mic. It flopped down again.
Oh.
Well, Santosh, besides being at the town the mouse built, what other cool things are there? You already told us about how you've started expanding beyond .NET. What other cool things can we find from the Orlando tech community that you've got?
Okay, so the Orlando tech community is one of the longest, or the Orlando .NET user group, I should say, in particular, is one of the longest running .NET user groups probably in the country, if not in the world, because I think it started back in 2001.
Oh, wow.
So, so we
18 years.
18 years, yeah. We're
It can drive.
old enough to vote.
Old
can
enough to
vote?
vote. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Vote.
A couple years to be able to start drinking.
I've been to that event.
No.
The event itself can start drinking. Okay.
The event itself can. You don't want to be drinking at an event, but yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's a very welcoming community, so we encourage speakers and attendees from other conferences, other tech stacks, and we are welcoming to first-time speakers. So I would say that one of the biggest things we do is we welcome people who are already not part of that community.
Gotcha. Oh yeah.
And I feel like adding this type of online presence would definitely help welcome more members from outside of
grow.
the community. Yep.
It's all about the people.
Yeah, exactly.
That's absolutely, I think, key to all of this. As a community, you not only need to be able to grow, but then there's also, you need to be able to turn over to the next group of community folks that are going to run, right? Because
Exactly.
let's face it, we can't all run these communities for decades. There's going to come a point where we got to be able to hand it over, and growing that next group of community leaders, I think, is also important for us. So PH16 community, what makes it so unique, of course, is everybody eats cheesesteaks, Philly soft pretzels,
Wow, that was
Philly cream cheese.
Another softball for you.
We had to kill the stream.
Done. Thanks so much, everybody. Bye.
Oh, man. Woof. I would say one of the unique features of the PH16 crew is that we are uniquely Philadelphian at the same time not.
Right. We don't throw snowballs.
Well, speak for yourself.
Or boo Santa Claus.
Or batteries.
We all have that Philadelphia attitude, which I could not possibly summarize. I'm sure you see it every day.
Find a clip out there of LA. You'll see it. It's wonderful, the Philadelphia attitude here on Twitch.
And at the same time, because we're on Twitch, we do want to inspire and motivate and encourage other streamers and continue to build on this community that is so incredibly uniquely Philadelphia, while at the same time encouraging. I think Gritty sums it up perfectly.
Yes.
I really do.
So, right, there's the story of Gritty, right? If you don't know who Gritty is, it's that lovable orange, scary face that you see there in the emotes. It's
Close your eyes and see
Gritty. So Gritty was announced as a new mascot for our hockey team in Philadelphia back in September?
Yeah.
And everybody in Philadelphia said, "What the heck is this orange thing?"
Oh, I remember that now.
Yeah, see?
And
yeah.
then ESPN and some other places picked up on it and said, "No, not pizza face, Janescu. No." And I don't want to hear that penguin stuff.
We can hash that out.
Oh, that's right.
He forgot I was a
Anyway,
Penguins
so let me
fan.
finish. So
forgot.
folks in the national media started picking on Gritty, and then quite literally, that Philadelphia brotherly love mentality kicked in. And when I say a brotherly love, that's the brotherly love that says we stick up for each other.
Absolutely.
You can't, you New Yorker, you Pittsburgher, you in Baltimore, you can't pick on us. Only we can mess with each other. And Pittsburgh guy over there. And we're going to stick up for each other. And literally, the people in Philadelphia started folks picking up Gritty. Subs for Gritty. Thanks for the sub, Ninja Bunny. I appreciate
subs
that.
for Gritty. Take
There
it
you
to
go.
Twitter. Let's
Yeah.
go.
But we stuck up for Gritty, and the town fell in love with this orange, goofy mascot, and he's everywhere now. He's been on Jimmy Kimmel. He's been on Jimmy Fallon. I don't know if there's any other Jimmy shows that he's been on, but he's been all over the place.
He just got voted by the Players Association as the mascot of the year.
He's
Is that a
amazing.
thing?
He's
That
a
is a thing.
thing.
Thing now.
Yeah, the players vote on this. Yeah.
He's big, he's orange, he's goofy.
It's kind of a stacked deck. There's really not that many good NHL mascots.
Creative. They're not very creative,
No.
I would say.
But he is so Philly, it is ridiculous. But Philly in that, it's that brotherly love.
And
It's
that's what we
that-
strive for. My
Yes.
end goal with PH16 is to make it to the top of the stream teams, make it so that Philadelphia is on the map as Seattle is with Microsoft. I want Philadelphia to be, wow, when I think about Twitch, I think about Philadelphia and PH16 and just how familial we all are. Like, we're one big family, we stick up for each other, we're down to fight each other if it means that it'll be a good show. We're, I don't know, it's so uniquely Philadelphia, and we're strive to be motivational and welcoming to other streamers, other communities. Let's just one big blob it. Let's oh, you just got VIP?
God,
Ninja
why
Bunny.
not? Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Ninja Bunny. Let's get you a VIP there.
But yeah, do you have anything else to add about?
I don't have anything to add about PH16 other than there was one anecdote, one story that I was thinking about you were talking about bringing people from other places into your in-person community by streaming. I was just thinking about the people that we've met in person that we met online. The other direction, right?
Yeah.
So we had one stream where we met Smokeless Panic, who was in chat earlier, who has been out to charity streams to hang out. So we've met him in person. That's someone that we didn't know. They came in randomly to the internet through a cooking show that wasn't even our main cooking show. It was the night before Thanksgiving or 2 nights before Thanksgiving or something. And me and Kevin Spicy were making a pie, and someone sent viewers at us, and this person stuck. And then we just met Drifter here in Seattle. So it's cool, like taking it the other direction. You meet people online that become great friends, and then you visit a place and you see them. So that's the only other story I would add to that, is like it does go the other direction, and it's pretty cool when it happens.
It does.
I wanted to speak briefly to the other communities that I'm building at Twilio right now. YouTube.com/Twilio is where I spend most of my time in my day job right now. You would think recorded videos landing on YouTube, that's not really a community. It's an opportunity to be one. We do get comments all the time.
Yeah.
I'm constantly in there helping people who just watched a video that either have questions about that video or they have a question about something unrelated to that video, but they know that I'm there. They know that we're there.
Yeah.
They know that Twilio is there, and they can be helped, and they see other comments where other people have been helped, and it is kind of a de facto community. But how do we grow that, right, for starters? So I think repeat viewers to Twitch are what help build your Twitch community. Repeat viewers to our YouTube content are going to build our community on YouTube. They're also going to become potential viewers of our Twitch, and as we put Twitch live streams onto new YouTube properties, they kind of form together, and now we're experimenting with Instagram. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I wanted to touch on that for a second, because
That's interesting.
Instagram doesn't seem like a place where you would want to go watch people live code. It turns out that when we turn the camera on over on Instagram, on our Twilio IG Live, this is an experiment that Lizzie Siegel's been running, people do show up, and the demographic looks a little different. It's a more welcoming environment for certain types of people that might shy away from, underrepresented communities might shy away from Twitch and YouTube because of some of the harshness. But we see them coming into Instagram, and now that's just another avenue. And I start to look at this online video thing as a holistic community.
Yes.
And that the platform walls start to break down a little bit. And that's what's exciting to me, is having people on our team trying different avenues and trying to see how we can weave a narrative thread through all of them.
So, do you think using some kind of video subscription like he is probably the best route to go to all these platforms?
Oh, doing you're streaming to multiple platforms?
Yeah.
I think it's a strategy. I don't know if it's the best strategy. I think any strategy is worth trying. I think anything's
I suppose.
worth experimenting.
But measure.
Yeah,
Measure if it works.
Measure if it
and
works.
And then decide, does that make sense to continue using?
I think you're going to hit those platforms anyways. What I would look for is, are the people that are watching on YouTube, like, is that the content they're looking for, or would it make sense to stream only to YouTube one night a week? Like we're only doing Instagram every couple weeks right now because it's an experiment. Maybe when you're streaming to all these different platforms, you now have to manage chat across them, and there's some solutions for doing it. You can get.
I was actually saying, Hugo, just ask that question.
Okay, you can do the restream route where there's a restream bot, there's a restream chat that puts all of the chat into one window.
Yep.
There's an on-screen thing you can do so that everyone can see it, and the bots can sort of make sure that everyone sees all the chat that happens. I kind of think that interaction's a little weird. And as a streamer, it's a little harder to manage. As a viewer, I'm starting to move away from like wanting to see chat on stream persistently.
Okay.
I have it in my template right now, and the reason it was in the template before is watching a VOD back, watching a video on demand on Twitch, I wanted to be able to see the chat.
Yes.
Twitch has that built into your VOD now.
Exactly.
If you're watching a VOD on Twitch, the chat appears in line, in real time,
Absolutely.
and you can add to it. The only part where it breaks down potentially is YouTube, right? You don't get that same chat experience when you export to YouTube. well, there's a fun trick that I found out about, and I think you should play with this one too if you want to. There's a way to get your chat transcript as a subtitle transcript that you can upload to YouTube as a separate language, and you can switch from, say the English subtitles that would be auto-generated by your speaking voice, and toggle it so that it's instead the Twitch chat, and it appears in real time in the subtitle section. So it kind of squashes that whole need to have chat embedded in the video to a large degree.
Yes, and I like the direction you're going with that. I've got an idea that I'm going to be rolling out here that's going to be a little bit different, but accomplish the same thing in the next month or so.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that offline.
All right, sounds good.
Hey, Quiltony's back again. Hey, Quiltony and all your friends out there. Good to see you again. And I sound like a broken record. Hello.
Jandra's point's good too. Ninja Bunnies as well. If you're an affiliate or above on Twitch, you actually have signed away your ability to do that.
Yep.
If you are an affiliate and you have signed that affiliate contract, you can lose your affiliate status.
You can lose your partner status.
You can lose partner status. They only want you to stream at the same time. And that's where I'm saying, like, maybe if you do think you're growing a YouTube presence, it might be interesting to tell your Twitch viewers on Wednesdays, I'm actually going to stream on YouTube. And tell your YouTube audience that, hey, on these other days, I'm streaming on Twitch. You could actually grow in both places, I think. I think it's a possible avenue. The only clause that you have is you can't stream to both of them at the same time once you've hit the affiliate tier.
Yep. Terms of service. You've heard stories of people getting banned on the spot on Twitch for multi-streaming. Ooh.
Yeah.
It can happen.
Okay.
It's a line to walk, that's for sure.
Yeah. Sushinator says, how about having a panel format more often? Always enjoy it. It's a little bit trickier having a panel remotely. In person, this is amazing. This is terrific. When I'm at an event, I think this is a great option that we can consider. Absolutely. Something online, completely online from home, from my normal home studio, a little bit trickier to do. I've seen people do it with 2 or 3 guests. I've done panel discussions over on the Virtual Dev Intersection channel. And that's going to continue to be a thing. But yeah, I think we can talk about doing panel discussions more often. That'll definitely be something to look into.
Keep in mind, studio in Kevin Spicey's basement. I built one.
Yeah, and?
We can use it.
Okay, but it's an hour drive from me.
Tough.
I'd rather fly 6 hours here
That's true.
than drive to Spicy's place. No, I'm kidding.
Kevin Spicy.
Yeah, Kevin Spicy,
Yeah,
because he looks like Kevin somebody else.
I'll pull up
named Kevin. As a person who likes to follow stream, I think going to different sources is confusing. Well, what do you mean, hot diggity dog? Going to a different source?
Oh, I think that was to my comment about streaming on Twitch, telling people to go to YouTube.
Right.
And then having to,
Yeah.
Okay. Sushinator has seen the Dev Intersection panels. Very nice. I have a nice co-host for Dev Intersection. He's pretty good at hosting. Google Hangouts for group discussions. Yeah, but Google Hangouts, have they discontinued that service yet? I feel like that time is up. Google discontinues all their services after 5 years, except for Google Mail. Hangouts isn't so great. Okay.
No,
you're nodding. You're saying no here.
We would Discord or Skype this at this point.
At this point, we would use a superior service. That's not to say that it should die. My biography will be titled "The Girl with the Google Tattoo" because
she has one.
I have a Google tattoo on my wrist, which you won't be able to see on the
And it's
camera
going to-
unless you really zoom in.
It's going to burst into flames here on Microsoft campus.
So I've kept it hidden. Long sleeves only.
Microsoft Teams events is coming. Yeah, that's a thing that the group just rolled out, and we'll see where that goes. I think the Microsoft Teams streaming solution is a very interesting approach, but I think it's also, I have a concern that it's a little tone deaf. These other platforms, whether it's Twitch or YouTube or Mixer or Facebook or Instagram, have a community already built on there, and there's definitely ways to build community on that. I feel like I think that the Microsoft Teams solution doesn't have a community around it yet. You've got the folks who are on your Teams install, but it's not there yet. We'll see. I don't know.
What are your
Time will tell on that.
Personal thoughts, Fritz. Personal thoughts, not as a Microsoft employee.
About a
What are
Google
your
tattoo?
No? What are your personal thoughts about the LinkedIn live streaming platform?
You know what? I haven't used it.
Yeah, I haven't used it yet either.
But it's supposed to be very corporate, and it's all supposed to be private.
Has anyone?
Okay,
Has
that's kind of
anyone,
weird.
has anyone in chat? used
I'm
the-
kind of curious if anyone's tried this yet. We've been talking about it. You know, like if there's a new platform, we kind of want to experiment on it right now because that's kind of where my head's at. But it doesn't look like it's the right fit for this type of stuff.
My thinking with it is because you can control the privacy of it, it's a better go-to meeting.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's where I've compartmentalized it. I don't know yet. I haven't tried it yet. Full disclosure, though, I am an employee, and I don't work with LinkedIn. So
Right.
private broadcast seems a bit counterintuitive for growing a community. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Right. And do you guys ever find that you need to close the doors for something in a community?
No.
It's always open.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
are welcome.
I think that's part of the core rules. Do not exclude people.
Yeah, it's that inclusion.
Yeah.
Everybody's welcome. So, all right. LinkedIn is where I avoid recruiters who are unqualified for talking.
that is a problem we are also facing because yes, at these in-person events, recruiters tend to pitch up,
Yeah.
and because also sometimes your venue sponsor is a consultancy house or something, it gives them the sort of the right to put recruiters there, But we have kind of core rules to say you're not allowed to do these. You're only developers allowed. I think rules in-person events just as important as Twitch.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'll say about that is we tend to put our rules up front, saying that yes, recruiters
Code
are.
of conduct.
Yeah, exactly. Recruiters are welcome, but and if you're sponsoring the event, you have 2 minutes before the event where you can give your pitch, and if people don't want to listen to that, they can show up later, or you just go get a cup of coffee or something.
Sure.
But that's how we provide food for the meetup and other
Right.
things. So we feel like they do deserve some amount of face time.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're most welcome to hang out with the people after the meetup, and it's all completely voluntary.
Yeah.
So
As somebody who speaks at various community events and at conferences, I like to make it a policy of mine that when I go to a conference, and I was just at Connectaha in Omaha, last week before, something like that, I forget. The days are running together, but there was a group where all the sponsors were, and as a speaker, an out-of-town speaker, I want to meet the sponsors.
For sure.
Thank you for
Yes.
supporting this event. Thank you for showing these folks that are attendees that they can get a job, that there's some cool products out there that you can use. And then selfishly, as the Microsoft guy from out of town is visiting, I want to talk to the recruiters especially, because recruiters know how popular my products are in their town. So I can sit down with a recruiter and say, I'm not looking for a job, but how are those C# recruitments going, right? Are you looking for a lot of people to do .NET Core? What are those types of things? So as I can give them feedback, well, here's where we're going with this. You're going to be on the lookout for these things coming next, while they're at the same time telling me, oh, we've got people, they're starting to look for less .NET Framework folks and more .NET Core. And we're starting to hear people talk about F# in our community. Is that something we should be aware of? And I can give them that feedback.
yeah, so and we also have make use of our recruiters. For instance, in our code camp, we have sessions where recruiters teach people how to create resumes and how to.
Oh, wow.
That's a good take on it. Actually.
That's a great skill. We
If
had
they're
good way
going to
of
show up, you
including.
might as well put them to work, right?
but actually, I think that's a good two-way win there, because the recruiter gets paid for placing people.
Correct.
So if they help folks write better resumes and interview better,
Correct.
they'll
So-
get paid, and you, as the person sitting in the session, hopefully you get paid too and get a better job. So
and we
that's
get
really-
sponsors.
Yeah, and you guys
they're
get a
great.
little support. Oh, that's awesome.
Great sponsors.
There are also other aspects. The platform we use is Meetup, the Meetup.com platform.
Yes, yes.
And whereby everyone registers on that platform, and we as organizers don't get their personal details like email addresses or telephone numbers, and then recruiters tend to ask me, hey, give me those details please, and physically that's like a no-go.
Can't
but
do it.
I cannot even technically do it, right?
Yeah.
And that's big up from Meetup to actually make that happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's very clever. As streamers, though, you basically have to be able to get in contact with all of us all the time, every waking minute of all the things. People, I mean, if you're in chat, if you're watching a streamer in chat, and they have some sort of sponsorship opportunity, the streamer is not going to be able to, in your same position, hand over that information, but they can also still just show up and do whatever bit of selling that
Exactly.
they have deemed necessary.
So, but when it comes to sponsoring streamers, there's a bunch of different ways that it could be done, that you can get sponsorships. We've seen folks that want to sponsor events. They'll put images down below that you can click through to. Download Visual Studio now, and you can sign up for Azure while you're there, and that helps promote. Try Visual Basic.
Try Visual Basic.
Anyways, I've seen folks
work
experiment
out.
with the bigger streamers. You'll see they'll have logos that appear above their heads and around, and that's great. That's a neat way to interact. But I've actually heard some folks experiment on stream with flyby sub gifting. Hear me out. What about this?
Uh-oh.
Somebody who wants to be a sponsor, they set up account in their company's name. Twilio, since
I'm sure, twitch.tv/Twilio.
Wow, he's saying that a lot.
He's clever. He's a
clever.
quick one, isn't
So if twitch.tv/Twilio wanted to sponsor, they could come by and say, here's 20 gift subs. Ring! And folks in the chat room all get a gift sub, and
Hey,
the streamer gets...
What's really cool for the streamer right now is the streamer gets sub points, which are very valuable
Streamer gets
now
sub
for
points.
affiliates,
If
since
they
they're
are.
unlocking emote slots.
So for those of you who don't stream, who aren't broadcasters, when you're on Twitch, for the number of subscribers you have, you get sub points. And a sub point, you have to, when you reach so many sub points, you get more emotes that you can offer to the subscribers on your stream. Right now on my stream, you get 14 different emotes. If you're a tier 3 subscriber like Maz,
But
you get
there's
16 emotes.
Only one that matters.
But the only one that matters is Gritty. Okay, fine.
If you gift subs greater than what is currently in chat, you do still gift subs. You will gift subs to followers who are not currently online.
Yeah.
It'll actually go down the follower list. So
There are ways to do sponsorships to grow that. Yeah, look at, oh my gosh, we're creating a wall of Gritty.
wall
here.
of greedy.
Dear Lord. What
I
have
love you
done?
guys. Man, I'm gonna
Now,
come
what's
on your
interesting
stream
is
more often.
I'm waiting to see, they haven't figured this out yet. Love the Fusion
look
logo
at
there,
the
hot
beards.
diggity dog.
Wow.
Nice.
There, all right, Maz is starting it, but what I've done in other folks' streams, did you guys see Dude, Where's My Car?
Yeah.
I say and then a lot. Sushinator's got it in the middle of that. No. So our friend Fierce Kittens, and then she made the and then, and I play that a bit in my stream. Fairy Wings is here.
Is that
There we go.
scene in the drive-through?
In the drive-through with the
Yeah.
Chinese
Yeah.
restaurant. So what
Yeah.
I've done is I've started chaining together and then with a bunch of other folks' emotes. So I'll go into Fairy Wing stream and I'll do Quilt and then Gritty and then Dole Whip from Fierce Kitten stream and then Poop, because that's one of her emotes. That's a thing. Emote Palooza. And have fun with that. Do the thing and then surprised squirrel. Yes. Oh my gosh, here comes the wall. Can you guys make a game like Dark Souls? Says Ozzy. We don't talk about that here. We don't. Yeah, that's not a thing here, dude. Sorry. Rip and then what is that? Yoshi and then Gritty and then Waffles and then what?
And then what?
And then exactly. And then a gassy Gritty. Love the emoji flit. Yes, absolutely. Love the Dole Whips from Busterfer there. No, and so Ninja Bunny, you're now a sub. There is a no emote. And so people do no. There you go. Thank you, Michael Jolly. It's so hard for me to explain. But this is one of those fun things that you see folks do on Twitch that I just love. I know. No. Dear Lord. Okay.
What is the in-person meetup equivalent of emotes?
Stickers.
Oh, like name badges maybe. That's as close you can get. hello, my name
Stickers.
is.
Stickers lately.
Pins.
are
Stickers, yeah.
big.
Stickers is a thing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
It is a
stickers.
thing.
Stickers
Yeah.
are definitely.
Right, my gosh, here at
Swag.
at the event, swag, certainly.
Yeah, I literally
Oh.
hunted this guy down so I could get the Clippy with the rainbow beard.
Right?
Yeah.
I
It
hunted
happens.
him with a pike and I sat in a bush for 3 days to get that
Yeah,
sticker.
pretty close.
So yeah, stickers, and I've got to work. I'm redoing the. Where is he?
Thank you.
Oh, he's passing out
The
swag.
Octocat
Both
with
said
the
stickers
rainbow
are a
beard.
thing,
Yeah.
so
Temporary tattoos says hot diggity dog. So
temporary tattoos.
So okay, Fairy Wings is here in chat, and I've been discussing this with her. I hit Twitch partner. That's not really a sticker type thing. That's like a tattoo level thing.
Yeah,
I agree completely.
I agree with that.
Like if you're a Google Hangouts fan, you could have Google tattooed on you, or maybe a nice Microsoft flag.
You're gonna get the partner checkmark tattooed?
Either the partner
Oh.
check mark or the glitch. I think that's got to be a thing.
Yeah.
Do we want to say right now TwitchCon 2019 is when we get glitch logo tattoos? I'm down.
Yeah,
He's moving on.
Fairy. Hang on.
He's moving on.
Fairy
Moving on
already
very
has
quickly.
glitch tattooed. I was going to say, Fairy, who's our friend in the creative community who does the tattoos? Would we be able to set something up with them at
You really
TwitchCon?
should get a Clippy tattoo.
Should I get a Clippy
You should
tattoo?
get a-
Clippy tattoo.
Please, it's bad enough I'm going to be dyeing my beard rainbow at Build, okay? Kappa, that's who it is, Kappa Tattoo. Thank you,
Kappa.
Fairy
Kappa
Wings.
tattoo.
And this one's trying to promise me all kinds of things. It's bad enough I've got folks out there in the creative community saying, and Moz was saying, when you get to 10,000, no, it was Quilt Tony, when you get to 10,000 follows, not only dye the beard rainbow, but do the hair also. We don't have this problem in the real world, do we?
No.
They're not going to tell you to shave your head with. Sorry.
Well, yeah.
Oops.
Sorry. My bad.
Too early on the thing, I guess.
Clippy tattooed by 10,000. Maybe. Usually I only have a prime subset of emotes, but this month I got a free sub. Yeah! Robertables and a C64 game streamer. So many emotes. Isn't it fun, Sushinator?
Are there in-person goals, goal setting,
No, no.
goal hyping?
We don't really have that.
No?
No, it's basic.
Would it work?
Yeah.
If we can get
Good-
X amount of attendees?
Good question. What's the?
Someone can pie me
It's
in
like
the face?
gamifying the in-person events, you mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. I'll
Could
try
gamify
to see
attendance.
if
Yeah.
we get 10,000
Gamify
or
tweets.
not 10,000.
If we get
sorry.
if we get 1,000
1,000.
people to go to
Code
Orlando
Camp.
Code Camp this
Yes.
year, can we pie John Papa, the keynote speaker, in the face?
Please.
John? John, are you out there? No, I'm kidding. Totally kidding.
Not kidding. Pie in the face.
For John Papa. There you go.
I'll
No,
take a pie on
we're
the
not
face if
volunteering
we get
here. Oh my
All
gosh.
right. Well,
I'll take a
Fairy
pie.
Wings.
people.
Whoa! 5
Whoa.
tier 1 gift subs
Whoa.
from Fairy Wings. Thank you very, very much, Fairy Wings, for that. That's
Wow.
very kind of you. Adrian Hall, Codebase Alpha, Josh Vardy, Enrix EB, and Cryptic Enigma. Congratulations. You all just got tremendous tier 1 subs. Thank you, Fairy Wings. And we'll make a donation to Black Girls Code for all of those. Look at all the gritty. Here come the gritties.
Oh,
Here they
pretty
Look
well.
at look at the hype. Oh my gosh. So no, I
Gritty
have a
wings.
thing. Oh, gosh, that'd be fun.
That is frightening.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'd go for that.
No,
20 new
I'll
subs.
take one. I'm announcing it on stream. If we get 1,000
Gamify.
attendees show up on the day, I'll take a.
You'll do a
You'll
pie.
take a pie in the face, clip it.
Naku, clip that.
you go.
Can we get a clip on that? We can put
Phrase
that
it
on.
differently. You should try pie.
Yeah, tripod? No, that's a 3.14 thing. No?
Oh,
We've gone off the
Matt-
rails.
We've
Stop that.
completely gone off the rails.
Try Visual Basic. It's amazing and heavy.
Yeah.
Well, that version was.
So you could get
Download
this,
it now. .net.
Get 2 of these, attach a pole in between, and then you could just get weights.
Sure. Tattoo that.
Dumbbell set.
for the price of
Barbell
$1
set.
million.
Yeah, right.
Electric Havoc has that box. Yeah. Oh yeah. I didn't have that box. I had the the Visual Studio 6 box. That's a big
Slightly
box.
smaller box.
But slightly smaller. Nowhere near the number of cool books in it. Thank you again. Look at all the Fairy Wings with the cool emotes coming by. Did we hit another sub boundary here? Oh, I'm going to show my number here to the folks. And nope, we didn't hit a sub boundary
Not
yet.
quite yet.
Nope. So we're what
Okay,
about
wait.
30 off?
You can do it.
I'm not pushing. That's fine. Look at that. And the Clippy with the wings.
We don't
That's
need
funny.
subs.
No. Oh my God.
Whoa!
Whoa!
10 more.
Oh my God.
Well
Thank
done.
you so much. CK8T,
Wow.
Emblema, Kulu83, Jex Lumi. Wow. I can't even read them all. They're going by so fast.
Too
Thank you
many.
very, very much.
Oh,
Desert
my
Griffin,
goodness.
Hot Diggity Dog, Neat and Switch, Jokyo, Rhyolite, Opus 67. Congratulations. You all just got subs. Thank you very, very much. Malfunct. Very generous. Oh my Oh my gosh, the subs. Electric Havoc. Thank you. Level 002, Sausage Cam, Fuel Snable, Nightshade Dude, and Daredevil Ops. Congratulations, you all just got tier 1 subs. Look at the Wallow Gritty.
I'm saying party time.
Bot and then Gritty. Oh yeah, look at them all. Thank you very, very much. That is very kind, and we will make donations to our friends at Black Girls
Black
Code.
Girls Code.
Yes. Oh my gosh. That is tremendous. Thank you so, so much. Okay, we might be about 13 points off now.
Good job, team.
Wow.
Go team.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Moss! Oh my gosh. Thank you.
5 more.
Pine Dax, Hana K Fu, Snark Cheese, Snark
Cheese?
Okay, Monty and Senior K. Thank you so much. You've now received tier 1 subs, and
It's like 8 away, I think.
wow!
For those of you that are keeping
Thank you
track
so
at home,
much,
I think there's 8
Maz,
left.
for those very kind gift subs. Yeah, we are rumbling along here. Tremendous number of donations to our friends in at Black Girls Code. That's not updating. At least I don't think it did.
We can refresh the screen.
Yeah, I think I
there we go.
can.
217 hours.
We've broken Twitch. Oh my gosh, Ninja Bunny! Oh my gosh,
5 more.
5 more.
Jandra and Spicy.
Jandra, Kevin Spicy, Scream for Me Now. Okay. RW Karg and Mo DR. Congratulations, you've all now got tier 1 subs. Wow, Ninja Bunny 9000. Thank you so much for that.
Again.
Malfunct.
Is there
Oh my
anyone
gosh.
left
5
anywhere
more.
that-
Does anybody need a sub?
Is there anyone left?
Oh my gosh.
Anyone?
Thank you so, so much, Malfunct.
There they go.
There we go. Mark Wilson Thomas, Ardalis, Shane Boyer,
Shane Boyer.
Space Shot TV, and Check Digits. Congratulations. You've all now got
3 points off.
subs.
And there
Oh, there it goes.
And there it is.
Malfunct, thank you so much for that. Snark Cheese, thank you
That's
very much for the
great.
generosity.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Gritty for everybody.
Everyone gets greedy.
Julie Lerman.
Hey,
John
Julie
Mons,
Lerman and John
Montgomery,
Mons.
Scott Hanselman,
Hanselman.
you've now got a sub. Alex Nichols, you've got a sub. And Tasha Scott, congratulations.
What did I miss?
You've now got subs.
Wow.
Yeah, wow, what is happening? Oh
Sub
my gosh.
train.
This
Sub
is-
This is a sub
train.
train.
This is
for
sponsored.
sure. This
Dear-
is
wow.
this is the community funding the
And we just
Right here.
we just unlocked another emote. Just.
What's gonna
Thank
go
you so,
there?
so much. I don't know.
Don't even know.
I've got to figure it out. I'm going to have to call Corky Candy. So, did I unlock? Oh, sweet. Oh my gosh. Fairy, that would be amazing
Nice.
to do that. But I think we're just about out of time.
Yeah, we are.
That has been
Looks
quite
that
the
way.
subtrain.
We're getting the signal from off screen that says you've got
You're done.
Says,
got
hey, it's
some
3.
time.
Thanks so much. We have had so much fun here today. I'm going to be back tomorrow morning, bright and early, Seattle time, to start our do a live coding stream. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. This has been amazing. Thank you, panel.
It has been.
Thank you, gosh, Fonny. Thank you so much, Santosh, Ellieface, and Chef Brent. This has been tremendous. Thank you so much. I hope we learned a lot about community here. This was not a G fueled early morning stream. That'll be tomorrow. Thank you so much, everybody, for your generosity. Yes, we will get some more emotes, and I will see you tomorrow. Is there anybody we can raid real quick? Can we get a raid?
Let's check programming.
Can we? Is there anybody out there we can raid real quick? Set someone up. Is there anybody? Great
That
stream.
looks
Thank
like
you
some
so
Visual
much.
Studio. No, it's Xcode. What do we got down
Who do we got? Hey, that's me. We don't want to raid me.
While
Yeah,
we're
that guy.
raiding, I would like to tell
Please.
the guys outside in if you happen to be in Netherlands, the 12th of April, we have a conference, the SDN conference.
Okay.
come swing by. You can go get information. Okay, it's now in Dutch, but Google Translate, I think, can be your help.
Did you say
SDN.
Google's got you?
Oh yeah. SDN.nl. You can check out the details.
All right, I think we're going to raid our friend Lucky Number 7, who is right now doing something with Twitch APIs over there on his channel. Let's get ready for the raid. You've all got tremendous emotes now.
Yeah, really.
Let them know when we get over there. I'm going to kick off the raid. If you haven't been part of a raid before, all you have to do is sit right there. You don't have to do a thing. You're going to be magically whisked by the power of the internet and Twitch over to Lucky Number 7's chat. When we get there, let them know that you're happy to see him and that you came from over here. Be ready with those gritty emotes to say hello. And I'll see you tomorrow right back here on Twitch at my regular time, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. What is that? 1400 UTC. All right? Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us.
Bye.
We'll see you then. And we're out.
Hit stop streaming.
Yeah.